we welcome everyone here this morning. It's my delighted pleasure to welcome you to the 2025 BCCM Leaders Summit. The theme is Strong, Sustainable, Purposeful Leadership, and throughout the day we will be discussing this theme from many dimensions and angles. But our entreaty is to you to leave today emboldened that we can take our vision to do better, to do more good in the world, to build a better world, which is the theme of the International Year of Cooperatives, which we are also celebrating this year, 2025, the second time the United Nations has given that moniker to the cooperative and mutual sector. I'd like to welcome our many guests, our many members of the BCCM. You've come from all corners of the planet, literally, and I'd like to say a special thanks to our guests from overseas who've travelled many, many miles to be here. Andrew Pakes, MP, who is the MP for Peterborough in the British government. Kevin Parry, OBE, Chairman of Nationwide Building Society, and the newly formed UK Mutuals and Cooperative Business Sector Business Council. Shireen Courier-Hack, Group CEO of the Cooperative Group, and please do listen to Shireen's 20-minute interview on the ABC, the Hour program, which is really fantastic and aired last night. And from Brussels, Jerome Douglas, who's the Director General of the International Cooperative Alliance. Thank you all. An effort like this to bring us all together in the one room in this magnificent convention centre doesn't happen without the generous support of so many members of the BCCM. I'd like to start by thanking our platinum partners, the Royal Automobile Association of South Australia, who's supporting the opening keynote. Key Invest, our platinum partner, supporting business leaders in conversation, and Almond Co, the platinum partner, supporting the closing keynote. I'd like to again thank the platinum partner, People First Bank, for last night's wonderful dinner. Our thanks to this year's gold partners, Australian Unity, Capricorn, CBH, HCF, MBL, NGM Group, NGS Super and BAL, and to our silver partners, Cuta Services, MEGA, SGS Economics and Planning, Great Southern Bank, Geraldton Fishermen's Co-op, Credit Union SA, The Bridge International and Syndex. Our thanks to our morning tea partner, Common Equity Housing Limited. I'd like now to welcome the Chair of BCCM and, as of last night, a new inductee to the BCCM Honour Roll, our Chairman, Rowan Mead.
Thank you, Melina. For those I haven't met, I'm Rowan Mead, and my day job currently, and for only a short time, is as Group Managing Director of Australian Unity. But it's also my huge privilege to be the chair of the BCCM and work with Melina and her extraordinary team who have brought together this gathering, this rich potential for valuable community-orientated discussion. I'd like to welcome you on the BCCM's behalf for making this time, for disrupting your busy schedules and making this time in your diaries. And I'd like to add my acknowledgement to the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, and in saying this, acknowledge the rich cultural heritage that is the extraordinary benefit of all Australians. Strong, sustainable, purposeful leadership is the rubric under which we are disrupting our BAU diaries this week. And it is in this context of disruption that I offer a provocation to this room as we prepare for our deliberations over the course of this gathering. I submit to you that we have a rare and special opportunity to seize in service of the reanimation and the reinvigoration of the corporate form that we each inhabit, but much more importantly perhaps in service of community value that is not susceptible to the greater proportion of approaches and prescriptions offered by mainstream business models, including political business models. All around are challenges that defy the habituations of yesteryear and yesterday. Confoundingly, there is an explosion of highly material parameter changes in the operating environment of the industrialised world. To the horror of the economists, it is becoming increasingly clear that we are no longer, if indeed we ever were, in a stationary system. Suddenly, thinking and action that can bridge discontinuity is at a premium. Whether it be the impact of climate change, the labours of Hercules involved in the execution of the energy system transition, associated adjustment and abatement challenges, demographic change in the advent of that first in all of human history, mass ageing, the initial ructions associated with personalised, genetically specific medicine, geopolitical instability, and the extraordinary potential costs of a return to a significantly multipolar world, the fiscal position of most public balance sheets, the depopulation realities ramifying through most OECD jurisdictions, and the high potential for exponential change in industrial models associated with new technologies, notably AI, and all around a seeming dearth of traditional economic growth. So, a council of despair? No, far from it. I, and I'm sure like most of the people in this room, remain an unreconstructed optimist. In good faith, our responsible leaders, in business and in government, are desperately seeking out actionable policy. They are consulting, reviewing, engaging, summiting, round-tabling with stakeholders, but are being confronted with unsatisfactory responses along the lines of, what we need here is a faster horse. When the uncomfortable reality is that we need discontinuous, adaptive thinking in the spirit of the patterns that brought us the car and not just the faster horse. So why uncomfortable? Because leading a community through discontinuous change requires high levels of trust and confidence, when our reality today is one of increasingly low estimation of these attributes in business and in government. Now, let's be careful not to be grandiose here. We will not cover the field and be all solutions, but let's also not eschew ambition. Our organisations are relatively well placed to support discontinuous change that is of benefit to the community. And why? Because of our trusted standing. In a world where governments are tyrannised by the urgent, unable to imagine the important, and surrounded by expensive and too slow horses, we have an extraordinary opportunity to propose and to execute innovation and positive change. But the community will not indulge pontificating such as mine unless we come up with propositions that can underpin inclusive growth and can achieve real scale and real impact. We will not be effective in leveraging the rare assets that our firms comprehend. So, what are our growth plans? And will they move the dial such that we re-establish community recognition of the character, potential, and importance of the cooperative and mutual enterprise form? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would now ask Cathy Gramp, a proud South Australian, born and bred, and the chair of the RAA, to formally open our conference.